Hello everyone and welcome to Rob's Rogues. Today's video is a little something extra for right around Christmas time. I got this idea from the Budget Jedi. I'm going to put his link down here. I started subscribing to him a little while ago. And he's always building stuff, Star Wars and Diorama related. And he did this scene from The Dark Knight as something he wanted to do with some of his Batman figures. The Interrogation scene, as you will. Now his was just a little bit larger, but he does a lot of his all with just normal household items, cardboard and tape and just things of that nature that he has lying around. And I did kind of do a little bit different. He had done his table out of just cardboard and a straw, and I actually took pieces of wood and spray painted it in a metallic paint here. So I have, Commissioner Gordon's here. It's not quite enough to get Batman to stand behind here, as the space that I have to deal with on my shelf is a little bit smaller than the one he had, and his is only probably just a couple inches on either side. But you kind of got the the focal point here, so we can swap out Commissioner Gordon and bring in Batman. Now the chair here that the Joker is sitting on, and I do have another one of the chairs, is right here, and he said he got this from a Dollar Tree, and it's a dollar store that we have here in the US, and hopefully you probably have some around you. And it comes with these extreme fighting, very cheap action figures. And he saw this in a dollar store, and it came with a chair that you would have your wrestling figure hold and you can bash somebody over the head with. But he said it was going to be about the right size for the figures. Now for his Batman, he actually took the cape off and gave it a cloth cape, so his Batman could sit down with the Joker. But because of this cape on mine, I can't really make him do that. I have thought about buying a second Batman, cutting the cape off and giving him a black cloth cape. But you could have the other chair set here to kind of recreate the interrogation scene. As you can see, it's just cardboard here. And if I can get this to spin around without dumping everybody, you can see the cardboard in here. And I just took basically a box. My wife sells Pampered Chef, so she has tons of these boxes just laying around. So I just cut out, a section that I needed, and again went to a hobby store and bought a mirror that I just kind of have slid in here, and I created these little extra pieces that are kind of making this a little bit more 3D, that you have the brick part of the wall sticking out. And this is just a brick pattern that I found online. I went to Google, typed in brick pattern, found it, and then just kept replicating this in a paint application. I actually put it into Microsoft Word and just made a whole page of nothing but this brick pattern. And then one thing I did to kind of show some aging of the bricks, I meant to take a black marker kind of like he did around here to kind of give some of the dirt and grime. I didn't go that far, but while this was drying, this was black, and then I spray painted, or this was white and I spray painted some black over top of it to give it the cement look there. I think that turned out pretty good. It kind of gave it a little bit of a speckling like a concrete floor. A little trick that we learn in art class if anybody's taken art, but it's really easy to do. While you spray paint the black, while it is still wet, you kind of spray paint the white up a little higher over top of it, and it kind of turns that gray when it dries. It gives it a nice concrete look to it. It's pretty easy and pretty simple to do. And I thought it was kind of fun, rather than just have my action figures standing and kind of looking a little stagnant on the shelf. And it's kind of cool just to see all your action figures standing in a row. It's kind of impressive. But if you have some extra space, doing something like this is really kind of cool, and it's a conversation piece when friends or family come into my computer room and they're looking at all my action figures and just different things that I have. And recently they've seen this and they're like, wow, that's really kind of cool. Something really easy to do. It probably took 3 or 4 hours to do when you kind of go through some fuzz there on Batman, as you kind of go through letting the paint dry. The paint here on these two, just kind of took a little bit for it to dry. And this is just a piece of wood that I got at Hobby Lobby. Can I see the wood grain there? cut it to the size I needed, and got some dowel rods, some square dowel rods to make the table. And then bam, there you go. So something really easy to do. These are just cardboard strips that I wrapped around in the brick painting, or the brick paper here, there, and here. And this too, and this is kind of holding the mirror. So for whatever reason, if I decided I ever need this mirror, I can just pull these out and the mirror slides out right from behind. As I'm doing, it kind of slides out right from in here. I can pull the mirror right out. Not that I'm going to need this mirror for anything, but I didn't have to glue or fasten the mirror to anything. It's kind of free floating in there. Some of the glue that's on the cardboard that's holding the mirror in place has kind of come off. But this is something really kind of easy and quick to do. And like I said, this is a shout out to the Budget Jedi. I took what he did my little take on it. I have a little bit smaller space on my shelf to work with, so I kind of scaled things down a little bit. His went on just a little bit longer and had a little bit more room to play with. But for what I want and what I needed, I thought this was pretty easy to do. Now this does bring me to my next thing. I'm going to kind of slide this out of the way, and I took this chair. We'll bring up my old trusty stage here that I use for most of my reviews that you've seen, and I'm gonna use this other chair that I have here and put up my little custom Bruce Wayne that I made. Now this chair isn't quite to scale. It probably should be a little bit taller, but what I want to do, I have this Alfred here from The Dark Knight Rises. As you kind of see here, he is holding a tray. I saw somebody else do this, and these are little miniatures that you can get at Hobby Lobby. And the cup came separate, but the tray here and the little teapot, it comes with a creamer and another little saucer, all come together, and it fits right in Alfred's hands. And they have a whole line of miniatures. They have little couches and chairs and clocks that you can do if you are making kind of like doll houses. And that got me thinking, wouldn't it be kind of cool, since I've done this, is to create a Wayne Manor. And that's what I'm going to attempt to do. Now this diorama here is pretty inexpensive. It's just a box, some paper, a couple cans of spray paint, and voila, I have a very nice looking diorama that's going to sit on the wall, sit on my shelf. But what I'd like to do is kind of make an elaborate Wayne Manor for Bruce and Alfred. And I'm also thinking about putting Damian in here from the Batman and Son that came with Robin, the Tim Drake Robin. So once I saw these little miniatures, and I saw there's a couch, a chair, a clock, you can do bookcases, that really got me thinking about trying to do a diorama that is a Wayne Manor based diorama. And as this diorama is a little inexpensive and really didn't cost me anything, the only cost that I had was spending, you know, $2 or $3 on a couple cans of spray paint, silver, black, and white, and then spending $3 or $4 on a mirror and $1 for the two figures for their chairs. You can see the chair here. So I'm probably in it for $6. For this, it's probably going to be a little bit more expensive because I want to do one that looks really nice. So I'm going to take the diorama, making up to a whole nother level, and we'll see if I can do it. Now, I don't normally do this on my channel, and it's probably going to take quite a while for me to be able to do it. Who knows, it may take me 12 months, but maybe as I buy those pieces of these, a chair, couch, I will kind of review those so you can see the diorama slowly getting built. I thought this was something extra I would add here towards the end of the year. I'm still waiting on one more figure to arrive for me to review for the end of the year. So I'm shooting this one, and by the time you see the other figure, this will technically be the last video for me until after Christmas. I hope that makes sense. Probably doesn't. So I kind of wanted to share the project that I'm going to do. As you see Alfred here and Bruce, And we'll kind of see over this next year how long it takes me to do and build this Wayne Manor. And I want to have a working access point to the Batcave, and I'll kind of get more into that as I go, as I start buying the pieces for this diorama. So today we've been taking a look really at some of the interesting things you could do with your action figures if you've got time, if you have the space. Like I said, this is the Interrogation from The Dark Knight. Again, Budget Jedi, thanks for coming up with the idea. And I've seen some other people do their variations of it because of you, so thanks a lot. You've given me a lot of good ideas, and I'm going to implement some of those into my Wayne Manor scene that I'm going to try and do. So hopefully you guys are going to we'll be having a good Christmas season, a good holiday season, so I thought this was something a little fun to kind of officially be the last video right before Christmas starts. So as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues signing off, saying we will see you guys after Christmas. Happy holidays.